Hello guys, my name is Mayor PS65. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Like, share, and comment on the videos. Let's share to the road to 1,000 subscribers. Today, I came with some bit of a story. You know, sometimes we have this time to reflect, think about the past. And when I was thinking about the past today, I thought of, oh yeah, I need to tell you guys what I went through when I was a young man or a young boy back in Africa. So let's hope you will enjoy this story. Please comment and let me know if these are sort of stories you want to hear. I was 14, 15 years old, still in high school, and I lived in a town called Bulawayo, or Blawayo to some, which is one of the cities in Zimbabwe. It was during holiday time, so I wanted to visit my relatives who lives. Oh guys, look at this. Wow. This is Milton Keynes. These are our wildlife, our wild animals here in the UK. Okay, so 14, 15 years old. It was holiday time and I wanted to go and visit my relatives who lived near Victoria Falls. Some of you have heard about Victoria Falls, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. So Victoria Falls is in Zimbabwe, as you may know. So my relatives lives near Victoria Falls in a place called Matetsi. Matetsi is a game reserve, or should we say a national park, where you find all the animals like lions, elephants, just like Masai Mara in Kenya. In Zimbabwe we have Matetsi, Wanke, Matusa Lona, and others. But today I'm talking about Matetsi National Park, where there are a lot of animals. That's the area where my relatives lives. They were working for the national park. So my uncles, 2 of them, were rangers looking after the animals, making sure they're not overpopulating the areas, and also anti-poaching, taking care of anti-poaching, fighting with the poachers. So I decided to go and visit them. So I'm from Blawayo to Victoria Falls. The only transport that time was to use a train. And our train was always an evening train, which you board around 9 and get to Victoria Falls next day at 7 in the morning. Because Matetsi is near Victoria Falls, so you drop in Matetsi before you get to Victoria Falls. So there I am, a young man, 14 to 15. In Africa, you travel by yourself at that age. So there I am in the train during the night, and I met my friends whom I went to school with when I was in primary. I did my primary education in Victoria Falls. So in this train, I met the guys who were going back to Victoria Falls, whom I went to school with when I was young. So we spent the whole night catching up about our school days, you know, showing off and all that, trying to be the big guy in telling stories, and without knowing it was already morning. So we didn't sleep at all, because you're supposed to sleep but this is a night train. So I'm saying, okay, no problem. When I get to where I'm going, I'll sleep. Now, let me just give you a brief story about where I was going. The place where I was going is a remote place. It's right in the middle of the jungle, right in the middle of Africa jungle, Victoria Falls, which is Matetse jungle, where you can travel for miles and miles and hours without meeting any human being, only animals, all types of animals. Like I said, from lions, elephants, zebras, rhinos, and all these other type of animals you can find. So, because it's a remote place, they used to send a truck to go and pick stationery or provisions from the station every Wednesday. Every Wednesday of the week, they will send a truck from the camp where I was going, in Matetse, to the train station, which is 4 to 5 hour drive from the camp every Tuesday. So if you are going to see your relatives, you have to make sure you get there on Wednesday. You have to get there on Wednesday, then you'll be able to jump into their lorry, your truck, and then you go to the camp, which was good. So that was my plan. So when we arrived at Matetse train station, I was the only person who embarked from the train. No one else. I was the only person embarking there. So as I embarked off the train and I'm looking around, I saw this old man sitting, just looking at me like wondering, who is this guy embarking in this remote place at this time? So I walked towards him and I told him my story. Oh, I'm going to this camp. They call the camp Danger. You can tell from the name, Danger. I told him I'm going to Danger, and I understand there's a truck which comes every Wednesday to pick up some provisions. So that's the one I want to use to go to this camp. My guys, this is interesting. The guy looks at me and like, when did you last go to Danger? I'm like, oh, it's been probably 4 or 5 years. He said, yeah, I can tell, because this Wednesday thing you're talking about, it stopped many years ago, probably 3 years ago. The vehicle you're talking about comes on Tuesday. It was here yesterday, so it's not there today. So the next time it will come back, it's next Tuesday. I'm like, no ways, I need to go there. So the guy looks at me and says to me, oh, you are a young man, you are strong, you can walk. I'm like, okay. He said, yeah, you can walk. It's not far for a young man. It's not far for a young man, which means it's far from an old man. Anyway, it's not far from for a young man like you. So he gives me direction, go straight. If you go straight, you get to a main road. Follow that main road until you get to a V junction. Not a T junction, a V junction. Meaning the road is now divided into 2 roads. One is going on the left side and the other one is going on the right. Now, this guy didn't use the right and left side. No, he said, when you get to the V junction, use the road that goes up. Use the road that goes up. Don't take the one which is going down. Use the one which is going up. and you walk maybe for a few minutes, then you will see a fence on your right. That's the camp. Keep walking, then you'll see the gate. You have arrived at your destination. Easily said than done. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you very much. So I started walking. We arrived at Matete at 8 a.m. in the morning, because there were some delays on the way. So we arrived at Matete at 8. Therefore, I started walking, let's say from 8:30, started walking. After talking to this man, and I'm a young man, 14 to 15, I'm still energetical. So I started walking. Those days we didn't have any earphones or phones to listen to music. You have to entertain yourself. So I'm busy whistling and singing by myself. I got to the main road and I started walking. Now, Victoria Falls, Matete, and Wange, these are the areas which are surrounding neighbors. It's to those people who come from Zimbabwe. They know that that place is very, very hot. Very, 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 very hot. So I'm walking. I've been walking for almost 1 hour. It's now 9 o'clock, 9:30. I haven't met anyone. And there's no sign which shows that this road is going to have a V junction or Y junction somewhere. So I kept walking. I remember because it was so hot, I took off my shirt, tied on my waist. So I'm topless and I'm walking. And I didn't have any water in my bag. I was only carrying a satchel. No water, nothing. Now I'm dehydrated because the place was really, really hot. The only things I could see, or the signs I could see on the side of the road, were signs which warns car drivers, that this area is a crossing area for elephants. This area is a crossing area for buffaloes, all types of animals. So it's an animal crossing zone. So be careful when you're driving. I'm not driving, I'm walking. Which means be careful when you're walking. So I'm still going. 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. I'm still alone in the jungle. The only thing which is giving me hope and courage is this tarred road which I'm following. That's the only thing which reminds me there are human beings somewhere where I'm going. But on my sides, anytime a lion, anytime a buffalo, anytime an elephant can come out. And I'm the only person, no phone, nothing. The only person who knows my existence is that gentleman I left at the station. And he didn't care whether I'm safe or not, but he just told me, go. He didn't even say I'll phone them, let them know that you're coming. No, he just said, go, you get there. So I'm walking and I'm walking and I'm walking. Now I'm starting getting scared because I started seeing more of these road signs which says animals, animals, animals. 11 o'clock, 12, 1, 2. I'm still going. Now I'm thirsty. 3. All my mind now is telling me is, Paul, you are gone. Mr. Mayor, PS65, you are gone. Anytime a hungry lion will come out and have you for dinner or for lunch. 3 o'clock. Around 4, I had a watch. Around 4, I arrived at my V or Y junction. I don't know what they call it. It's called V junction or Y junction. Let's call it Y junction. I arrived at the Y junction. I looked at the road on my left and the road on my right. The road on my right was going up. I'm like, oh yes. That gentleman said I take the road which is going up. So I started following that road which is going up. I walked and walked. There's no fence, hey, on my right. I started hearing this sound, a refreshing sound. The sound which gave me hope. Remember, I've been walking for hours and hours without drinking anything in a hot weather. I'm dehydrated, I'm thirsty, and the next thing I hear is the sound of flowing water. I'm like, yes. I had an empty Coca-Cola bottle in my bag. It was an empty bottle. So I walked fast. I got to this place where there was a bridge, and under the bridge was flowing water. So I had to get off the road, go down the bridge to go and get some water. And guess what? The water was muddy. Muddy. Not muddy, but the color was muddy, brown. So I'm like, whoa, what's this now? So I looked up the stream. All I could see was a bunch of wild pigs. Wild pigs right in the water, disturbing the water, whether they were bathing, drinking, whatever they were doing. So they were making the water dirty. I didn't care. So I drank some water, filled the bottle with more water, put it in my bag, and continued going. Now I'm thinking, I think I made a mistake. I don't think I took the right road, because the way that man explained, he said, if you walk just a few minutes, you will see a fence on your right. But I've been walking for another hour, and I haven't seen any fence, and I haven't met anyone. So I'm thinking, there's something wrong here. When suddenly again, I heard another sound. A very, very pleasing, interesting sound. A sound which told me that now there's another human. You are safe, you are saved. There was a car coming from the opposite direction. There was a couple, an elderly couple. In that car, I could see them coming. Remember, I'm topless, right in the middle of nowhere, where there should be only animals. And I'm showing a thumb to say to them, please stop, please stop. They got 2 meters near me, and boom! Sorry. Oh, the guy put the foot down and increased the speed. Boom! And they're gone. I'm like, what? Then I realized I'm in the middle of nowhere. They have the right to be scared. I was 14, 15, but I was a big guy. I was tall. Black guy right in the middle of a black forest. No one is there, only animals, and he's stopping, and they just increase the speed and they're gone. Now I'm thinking, okay, where they're coming from, there should be something. So I walked. Then suddenly I saw this road was now going down. I'm like, no. I made a mistake. I drank some water again, finished my water. Now I'm thinking I have to go back to where I started and take the other road instead of this one. So I'm walking back again, got to the same bridge where I got some water previously. Now the wild pigs were gone. So I went down there. The water was now clean. I drank some, poured some on my body because I was hot. Fill my bottle again and started going back to the junction. That was another maybe 30 minutes or so. So I would say I got to the junction around 5. Yeah, 5 or 5:30. Remember, I've been walking from 8. Now it's around 5:30, 6 o'clock. I got to the junction. I'm like, okay, this road is going down, but let me just follow it. So I walked for a few minutes. Then I realized it started going up. I'm like, oh yes, so that's what the man meant. I'm excited because I'm thinking, yeah, now I'm going on the right direction, when suddenly, that's the reason I want to tell you this story. Suddenly, my fears were fulfilled. Suddenly, my fears were fulfilled. I've been walking for over 8 hours. Is it 8? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, over 9 hours. I've been walking for over 9 hours. I didn't meet any animals. There were signs everywhere that there are animals around here, but I didn't meet any. But now, whoa, suddenly a lion, it was 10 meters away from me, right in my front, a lion came into the road and stopped right in the middle of the road and looked at me. I froze. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to run. I just froze. I'm standing there. The lion is standing there looking at me. I'm looking at the lion. Guys, I'm saying 10 meters. Not 10 miles, 10 meters. If I had a sharp nose, I could even feel its breath. But it was 10 meters away. He just stopped there and looked at me. And I froze. I knew this was the end of my day. There's nothing I can do. There's no way I can run. I can never outrun a lion. So I just stood there. When suddenly, other lions started crossing the road. This one just stood there, right in the middle, looking at me, whilst the other lions were crossing. And those lions which were crossing, they'll look at me and just ignore me like, maybe they've tested a human being before. I'm like, nah, I'd rather eat my zebra. I'd rather eat my zebra than a human. I don't know. Me, I'm there. I'm like, I'm dead. I'm gone. I just stood there. The big lion just looking at, the male lion is just looking at me. The other ones are crossing. They were nearly, I'm sure if I could count in my memory, because that time there was no time of counting lions. It was actually counting my seconds. How many seconds left for me to die? So they crossed, almost 12 of them. They were crossing. When the last one crossed, the male lion followed and they were gone. I remained standing on that spot for some seconds and I told myself, now it was getting dark. It was getting dark. Those who come from Zimbabwe, they know that our sunset is around 6 o'clock. The sun starts going down. So now it's 6 o'clock. The sun is going down. There's no way I can keep walking and cross where I saw the lions, because maybe they are waiting for me on the side of the road. So I decided to retreat for a few meters and climb a tree. I said, I'll climb a tree. I'll sleep in this tree until tomorrow morning when I'll start walking. maybe those lions will be gone. So I climbed the tree with my satchel. I'm trying to find where I can balance, making sure if I fall asleep, I won't fall. When suddenly I saw someone cycling, coming from that same direction which I was supposed to be going. So the guy was coming past where the lions were. I'm like, oh, okay. So I climbed down. As soon as I climbed down, the guy stopped with his bike, like, oh, what is that? So I started walking towards him. I'm sure I saw him retreating a bit, then stopped. Then he recognized me. So he started coming. He actually put his bicycle down and started walking towards me like, what are you doing here? So I'm explaining to him. I said, oh, he was one of my young uncles. So I explained to him what happened. He said, no. That guy who told you to come here is a witch. That's what we call them in Zimbabwe. A witch. People do juju. Someone who wants you dead. Why would he allow a young man like you to walk in this jungle knowing very well that people have been killed by lions? I'm like, yeah, it's true. I've just seen some lions. Said you are very, very lucky because he said, where were they going? I told him they're coming from the right, crossing to the left. He said, yes, from the right, that's where Zambezi River is. That means they've killed some animals there and they were full. So they are going back to their den to sleep. So they don't want anything to eat now. They are full. So you were lucky because if you had met them going to Zambezi, I won't be talking with you now. So you are very, very lucky. But that guy, he shouldn't do that. So he was going somewhere. He said, I was going to the other direction. I said, oh yeah, I met some cars. I said, yeah, if he had gone a bit further, you would have seen some lodge. There's some lodge there where tourists come and stay for some days. If you have kept walking, you would have gone to that lodge. So that's where I'm going, but that's the only place where we can buy some provisions. I'm like, oh, so he said to me, just walk a few meters, you'll see the gate. I'm like, can you escort me past the lions crossing? He said, no, don't worry, they're gone. So they kept walking, and then within 2 or 3 minutes, I was by the gate. So I got in, and I was so happy, and everyone came running like, what? Wow, where? How did you come? How did you arrive here? So I explained to them. Everyone was like, no, you are the luckiest. You are the luckiest. Look at guys. Wow. They said you are the luckiest guy ever because people have been killed by lions coming to this place and no one dares to walk. No one dares to walk. And they gave me a story. I don't know whether I should tell you. Yeah, they gave me a story that one of the staff from that camp, 2 of them, were in a vehicle going towards Matezi when suddenly lions were chasing zebra, and the zebra crossed in front of them, and they hit the zebra, and the car overturned. So when the car overturned, it landed over the zebra. And the driver died on the spot, but one of the guys was alive, still inside the car. The lions, they couldn't pull the zebra off the car. They ate the zebra whilst the car was overturned, and this other guy was still inside the car, he watching everything happening, and with a dead colleague on his side. So that's how dangerous the place. That's why it's called danger. So they were surprised that I arrived alive. So I thought I will tell you guys this story because I reflected on it. I'm like, ooh, I won't be. If things had gone the way they were supposed to go, there wouldn't have been any Mayor PS65. So for that, please subscribe. Subscribe to my channels, like and share. Please, let's get to 1,000 subscribers. The more we are, the better. Next time, tomorrow, I'll give you another story which happened when I was in Zimbabwe, Victoria Falls in Africa. Take care, guys. Bye.